Adding a subwoofer to a stereo setup is usually a nightmare. You're dealing with thick copper snake cables crawling under your credenza and guessing where to set the plastic dials on the back of a heavy box. Whim claims they've solved all of that with this, the WiiM Sub Pro, packing 250 watts of power and promising a wireless layout that adapts to your room using AI. But let's be entirely honest, whenever a budget-friendly brand promises smart AI features and cuts out traditional hardware configurations, it usually means they're cutting corners to save production costs. Now, you asked for less talking head and more hands-on proof, so I'm moving out of the frame. For the next few minutes, we're locking the lanes straight onto this hardware and the app. I'm going to show you how this unique down-firing channel actually behaves, walk you through the setup and expose exactly where this wireless system falls short, where it excels and whether it's actually worth your 8,000 Rand. Let's look at the gear and let's talk about the build quality, because out the box, this thing is a massive dust and fingerprint magnet. Whim opted for a combination of matte black composite walls and high gloss piano black trims on the edges. It looks sleek for the first 5 minutes, but you are going to be wiping it down constantly. It weighs 11.5 kilograms, which gives it a decent acoustic mass, but it's lighter than traditional heavy metal subs in this price bracket. But here is my first major critique, and it's a big one. Look at the back. There are absolutely no physical volume knobs, no crossover dials, and no phase toggle switches. Whim stripped them all away. You have a power plug, an Ethernet socket, and one solitary analog RCA input. If you are running a complete Whim ecosystem, that software-only design is fine. But if you intend to wire this up to an older, traditional analog stereo amplifier from another brand, the lack of hardware controls is an absolute pain. You can't just bend down and tweak the bass on the fly. You are forced to pull out your phone, launch the app, and dive into menus just to lower the volume when a track gets too boomy. That is a frustrating user barrier that Whim should have avoided. However, the physical acoustic engineering inside this cabinet is genuinely clever. Notice the large open slot that runs cleanly through the bottom from the front to the back. Inside that hollow cavity, Whim has mounted a custom 8-inch long throw woofer firing straight down, paired right next to a tuned bass reflex port. Most budget subwoofers use simple front-facing or rear-firing ports that act like air blasters. When you push them hard, the air rushing out of the tube creates turbulence, leading to that annoying chuffing or wind noise that ruins quiet acoustic sessions. By firing the driver and the port directly into this dedicated internal boundary channel before the sound wave ever hits your carpet or tiles, they've managed to neutralize that air velocity noise. The cabinet structure itself acts as an acoustic shield. Even if you drive the Class D amplifier up to higher sound pressure levels, the actual wooden box stays remarkably inert and resonance-free. Acoustically, it is a tight, fast design. Now let's look at how the wireless handshake actually plays out in reality, because this is where the system either makes sense or falls apart. If you are pairing this to a Whim amp or a Whim Ultra over your home Wi-Fi 6 network, the setup takes under 60 seconds. The internal network card locks onto the main streamer and the software instantly cuts the low frequencies away from your main bookshelf speakers and reroutes them to the sub. Latency is where wireless subwoofers usually fail. If the bass wave lags even a fraction of a millisecond behind your speakers, the music sounds disjointed or muddy. Whim handles this cleanly. The wireless timing alignment is tight enough that the sub feels seamlessly integrated into the rhythm of a kick drum. But be warned, if your home Wi-Fi network is unstable or if you are trying to stream high-res audio while your family is clogging up the bandwidth with 4K streaming, you will experience signal drops. If your router is subpar, don't rely on the wireless marketing, save yourself the headache and plug a physical Ethernet cable straight into the back. Now let's test their biggest marketing claim, the AI-driven room fit auto calibration. Subwoofers are notorious slave drivers to room acoustics. If you place a sub in a corner, your room geometry will amplify certain frequencies, creating a bloated, muddy bass profile that masks the mid-range details of your music. When you run Room Fit, it plays low-frequency, sweep patterns and uses your smartphone's microphone to listen to how your room reacts. But is it a replacement for professional acoustic treatment or a high-end standalone direct live calibration? Absolutely not. Your phone's internal microphone has hardware limitations in reading deep sub-bass frequencies. But for an automated 8,000 Rand consumer-level feature, the internal DSP correction does an impressive job. It explicitly identifies the most egregious, boomy resonance peaks created by your walls and dynamically dials them back. It won't work miracles in a room with bare concrete and massive glass panels, but it noticeably tightens the sub's integration, so the low end sounds tailored rather than chaotic. Now, if you don't trust the automated AI correction, you can override it entirely. Whim gives you full access to a granular 10-band parametric EQ engine. You can manually map out your crossover frequency from 40 Hz to 200 Hz, shift your phase alignment by precise degrees, and adjust latency delay times down to the millisecond. And for the serious audio enthusiasts out there, the software supports a 2.2 configuration. You can deploy 2 separate Sub Pro units wirelessly, setting one to handle the dedicated left channel low frequencies and the other for the right channel. Now, it is a powerful software capability, but keep in mind that an 8-inch driver is fundamentally a compact design. If your lounge is massive, double volume, open space, buying a second small sub won't match the pure moving air weight of a singular traditional 12-inch home theater titan. Know the physical limits of an 8-inch cone before you buy. So let's take off the spec sheet hat and talk straight consumer reality. Is this WiiM Sub Pro actually worth your money, and would I personally use it? If your goal is to build a massive bone-rattling home cinema room to watch action movies where you want explosions to rattle your window frames, this is not the sub for you. An 8-inch driver simply cannot cheat physics when it comes to raw, room-shaking cinematic pressurization. For that, you still need a traditional heavy wired box. But, and that's a big one, if you live in a modern home or an apartment where you are running a clean lifestyle-focused stereo system and you want to fill out the lean bassline sound of small bookshelf speakers without running wires across your baseboards, the Sub Pro is an incredibly compelling option. Yes, the lack of physical knobs is an annoying software barrier, and the glossy finish is a fingerprint nightmare. But as a smart, fast, and uncompromised way to add natural low-end balance to a wireless living space, Whim has built something genuinely disruptive here. I'm Julie, this is E-piphany, and let me know in the comments, are you willing to trade away traditional physical knobs for the convenience of a zero-cable wireless setup? Or do you still demand analog dials on your gear? Don't forget to visit our showrooms in Cape Town or Johannesburg if you want to experience this in person. So click that subscribe button and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to our channel. We have new tech coming your way every single week. And you can find everything we review on our website. The link is in the description. Or come visit our team at the showrooms in Johannesburg and Cape Town for the full experience. Until next time, we'll see you at the next one.